Ashens has the brown sofa, I have the grubby white void. Cast your mind back to 2005. Pokemon is booming, and Bandai wanted to create some pocketable monsters of its own. So they came up with this. The Treasure Gausts Dimension Rod. They released it in Japan, and it was popular enough to spawn a second generation called the Treasure Gausts, I'm going to go with Gausts, Strap Hunter, which frankly sounds like a slur, and Strap Gunman. And then a third generation, the Treasure Ghost Gearlit Hunter, and a fourth generation, the Treasure Ghost Shot. Also a DS game with two versions, Crimson Red and Deep Purple, and an anime. They weren't slacking. It all fell apart by about 2009, but in 2008, which I imagine was the height of its popularity, they decided to release the Dimension Rod in the UK, among other places across the globe. And because nobody in the UK, or after googling across the globe, knows what a Ghost is, they changed the name to Catcha Beast. They advertised it on good old CITV, and soon enough one was in my hands. Not this one, but one pretty much just like it, red and all. Except there's a slight issue. My one came with instructions. You can see that I've pre-opened this packaging, and in doing so I discovered that it has two sets of instructions, one in French and one in German. Now, I speak a little bit of German, but not this much German. So, despite having English on the box among other European languages, and saying UK on the back, this must be a mainland European version. So the first thing we're told to do is insert batteries, and it doesn't have a screw for the battery cover, it has a little push button. So I get something pointy and push off the case there. And at first I thought that was quite neat, you don't need to unscrew anything, but I don't know, because at some point that spring might degrade and then you're a bit stuck. Anyway, it takes two AAAs, which I have to hand, so I'm going to pop them in here and here, wrong way around, and that should be all it takes to power it. And then I'll slide the case back on, which is easier done off camera. Let's try to get that in there, and then press the reset button. That must be just here. And it's at that point that you discover that the device that you picked up off eBay for relatively cheap, while sealed, has not stood the test of time and it's completely dead. We can still look at it as a physical object though, because in some ways it's kind of ahead of its time. The idea was that you'd pop this top piece up and you'd be able to look through the screen here into the real world and see, displayed on the screen, the Gausts or Gausts or beasts, and they would be brought sort of into the real world. Now the screen's a bit naff, it's basically a Tamagotchi screen, but the idea of monsters merged in with the real world as sort of an augmented reality type thing in 2005, that's way before Pokemon Go. Then you'd use the inbuilt compass to sort of move around to catch them, and when you actually wanted to reel them in, you'd use this crank here, which was again ahead of its time. The Playdate console, which has just come out, includes a crank. It took them till 2022 to get that going. Now it's obviously inspired heavily by Pokemon. This is a red version. There was a blue version. You connect them up top, and you'd have different beasts on different versions. But I mean, all in all, sure, this one doesn't work, but it's pretty sturdy. Like, it doesn't feel cheap, it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. It's got this electronic components, it's got, you know, a pretty rigid, solid plastic shell. It's quite a nice looking design. On the back of the battery cover here is a clip to clip it onto your belt or whatever. And I'm quite fond of it. And sure, I threw mine away whenever. And it's a bit sad now I don't have a working one. But I'm quite happy that I've got this. It feels nice in the hand. That clicks in solidly. I mean, that's not coming out and shaking around or anything. This clips in pretty nicely. And all in all, it's a pretty neat little device. There's unfortunately probably got its last beast. We're going handheld mode and handheld audio, as literally the second I stopped recording, it let out this sort of beep noise, and I think that was its death cry. I think this thing has just died on me for good. I don't know if you can hear that right now. I stopped recording again, and this is far more high pitched than it ever made before. Why would you even build this? This is painful to listen to. Why would you even build such a high pitched noise into this device? But it's really trying or dying. God. Make it stop. Still going. And louder.